Definitely all about the vibes. And one vibe that I have been feeling and seeing everywhere are women's jerseys. People are wearing them left and right. I'm seeing
Yeah.
them all over the place. And I'm so super excited about it. I mean, back when I played, selling a women's jersey just was not a thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we would never even think to have our jerseys in, the college store or anything like that. And so to see women's jerseys everywhere, it's just been an amazing thing to watch.
Yeah. I mean, and also they're selling out. So it's not even like, people are just casually buying them. I mean, they're selling out. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, these jerseys are selling out, which means that the support has skyrocketed, which is what made this draft class so special for a multitude of reasons, right? There were so many polarizing and just interesting personalities within this draft class, so many personalities that you've grown with and you've watched go from freshman to sophomore, and also so many underlining storylines, right? I mean, I remember interviewing Angel Reese after LSU won the national championship and all that was surrounding that. And then you have Caitlin Clark. Obviously, she didn't win, but from beginning to the end of this season, all eyes have been on her. The list goes on and on. Cameron Brink is a supermodel playing basketball. Like, it's on and on. The outfits are discussed, the storylines are discussed, who's beefing with who, even if it's manufacturing a beef. I think people are just more invested into not only the sport and seeing how just absolutely competitive it is and how just well played it is, but they're also interested and invested in these young women, and that's traveling to their teams in the W, which is what makes it so special, because you feel a connection with them that we talk about all the time. I'm a big March Madness girly on both sides, but one thing the women's side has that the men's doesn't is that you don't really get to grow with a lot of these guys. They're usually one and done. So by the time you kind of develop a fandom for them in their collegiate, careers, they're like, all right, declaring for the draft. It's been real. Whereas women, they don't have that luxury. So you are almost forced in the best way possible to grow with them. And when you grow with somebody, that's how you truly develop a fan base. So I love this. And it's just a changing of the times. And I'm very excited.
It's a changing of the times, and these jerseys are in high demand.
High demand.
Chicago Red Stars, Alyssa Nair, they finally put the goalkeeper jerseys on after like 12 years of people asking. And it literally sold out in 3 hours. Boom, gone. I mean, if you want one of them jerseys, you ain't gonna get them. Okay. You're not gonna get them. But one thing that I definitely want to stress is that I hope these companies are prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Has been some
Demand.
there's been some jersey drops in the past where people were promised these jerseys and they never got them because they did not anticipate people wanting these jerseys as much as they do. And so it's like, you're going to miss out on coin, okay? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you should be prepared anyway, but if you are not, you're going to miss out on a whole bunch of people that want these jerseys, and they deserve them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they deserve to get them, especially if they put their money down, okay?
But I think it even speaks to a bigger thing where it's now showing that there is a demand for these products that surround and are, geared directly towards women's sports. And I think for a very long time, there was an apprehensiveness about brands and companies to get involved with women's sports because they didn't think it was profitable. Whether they said so or not, their actions showcased that they didn't think it was profitable. So if I'm going to invest in it, I'm just going to do it so small that if I do take a hit, it's nothing that I can even feel, versus if you invest everything or a big chunk of X, Y, and Z into X sport or X player and there's no return, you feel that a little bit more. I think now that you're seeing how in such a demand there is for jerseys regarding women athletes, and that's just not in basketball, it's across the board, and how invested these fan bases are in seeing these women succeed and cheering them on. I think it's going to be the changing of the guard that we needed to get businesses and to get brands and to get companies to really invest, and not just like sort of kind of invest.
Or
I'm going
just
to
a name.
baby invest, or I'm going to only invest during the playoffs or during a big tournament. No, I'm going to invest from the beginning to the very end because there's a demand and people will buy it. And I think that's what to me, this is the bigger message behind these jersey sales.
I agree. And someone this week that invested and bought a jersey was Kev on Stage. And you have to see, look,
A little snug.
It's a little snug.
A little tight. Yeah.
And what happened was he didn't realize that it was a women's jersey. So definitely check those descriptions. And companies that, I'm not saying that Under Armour did this, but any company that is just selling a women's jersey, no. We need to sell them in all sizes, not just women. So make sure that you're doing that too. And the other photo that you see here is something that I personally took part in this weekend. That's my god baby Dallas.
How cute.
She's so cute. We went to the Cal Bears softball game. She's a softball player. She's a star. Let's be clear. And she absolutely loves Tatum Anzaldo. So that's number 3. She's right there in the picture with her. And she wore her jersey to the game. She was there with her team, the California Breeze. And we just had an amazing time. But it was so phenomenal to see her repping, another player.
I love
that she loves. And then to have her sign the jersey, it's literally all she can talk about. And it just goes to show you that these jerseys are far beyond just pieces of clothing. They're inspiration. She's never going to forget that. And it's just going to make her, better in her path and how she's a player in softball or whatever she chooses to do in the future. She's going to be inspired by that moment and by that jersey. So
yeah, I don't think people realize that like jerseys, yeah, it's a way to show team loyalty and player support. But I think also, especially when you're young, I think maybe when you get a little bit older, you kind of lose that naive aspect of it, that make-believe aspect of it, unfortunately, because the world hardens us and makes us cynical. But when you're a kid, I think that when you put that jersey on, one, you feel a direct connection to whoever's jersey it is that you're wearing, right? And I think two, it's almost like I kind of equate it to like taking a superhero's cape, like Superman's cape, and like you put it on and you kind of feel a little bit like invincible because you're wearing this jersey. You idolize the person who wears this jersey night in and night out or wherever the jersey is worn. And it just makes you feel that like what's possible for them is possible for you because you have this piece of clothing that connects you to somebody that you may or may not have ever met. And you see that so much in kids. Like I said, as adults, you kind of lose that magic, if you will. But as kids, you see it. Like I've done so many events where like players are giving back and they're giving back their jerseys and some of them are even signed. And the joy in these kids' face when they wear the jersey or they're given a jersey of their favorite player or players is like, it's really like transferring. I kind of think of like Mike, where he's wearing Jordan's shoes and he gets Jordan's powers in the game. And it's just like he goes from regular to like Michael Jordan. Like, it's the same thing for these kids. It almost makes them feel like they have a superpower. And I just think that's what makes jerseys so special and why it's important to have jerseys of every single player that you possibly can, because you never know which of those players connect with, a young kid and how that can change or, navigate their destination to their dreams. I think it's a dope concept. So